From the South Point Bowling Plaza in Las Vegas, we're here for the title matches of the 2017 JBT Las Vegas Main Event. Nick Posteg taking on Solomon Salama in an all-Southpaw title match here. Similar bowlers except for size. That's a double for Nick while Solomon struck in his first frame. I expect a lot of those X's to be up on the scoreboard in the scratch division. Both these guys are comfortable and able to string forever. Miranda Patterson struck in her first frame over in the girls' scratch on the far right. She's taking on Crystal Elliott, who opened in her first frame. And in the middle of all that is our handicap division finals, where Caitlin Yukihiro is taking on Christy Mace in another all-female final. Solomon, an extremely familiar face, not only around here, but nationwide at this point, with his television exposure, winning back-to-back U15 titles, and gets that 7-pin to curl over, matches the double of his opponent. And Christy gets to roll a pin there on 50, and she opens up with a double. Miranda, no problem at that 5-pin. Christy and Caitlin, both regulars on our year-round JBT tour that travels all over the Southwest and Northwest. Christy not only doesn't have a title on our year-round tour, she doesn't even have a top 5 on our year-round tour. So that has already changed, and she would love to make her first title a major. Here's Salama now for 3 in a row and an early 9-pin lead. Oh man. Corner pins might be all that happens in this match, as both bowlers are totally dialed into the 1-2 pocket. Christy slides by that. Here is Crystal Elliott from Florida, and a half 10 for her. Bowled on a short pattern with quite a bit of volume. If you understand short pattern skills, you could light it up as our very top bowlers did. If you struggle on short, don't have that skill set, you struggled in this tournament. Just slightly over even cut for scratch and handicap, and 140 down cut for an 8-game qualifying block in girls scratch. Caitlin won her first career JBT title just last month in Montclair, California. So she broke the ice and said, hey, I think I can do this. And here she is bowling for the main event title. Rolls it over the corner, only gets that 9 count out. Not bad. Nick, we've already seen on camera this weekend a couple times with front 10 performances. Didn't get the 300 and doesn't get the strike there, and matching double flat 7s. There's a spare away from a tie after 3 frames. Now Caitlin, she missed it there, but she does something interesting with all these other weird two-hander skills. She can throw it with 2 different rotations as well. She'll throw a normal righty hook sometimes. She'll throw a backup ball at a lot of her right side corner spares. She can also kill it and throw it dead straight. So interesting for a younger bowler to have that skill set being developed already. Mace from the Tucson area. Little sister bowls with us as well. Crystal has the double wood. Her best main event result ever here this year. She's been coming for many years. Nice form from Christy, no problem with that spare. She's climbed the 8-person step ladder to get this far. It's sort of a bracket, sort of a step ladder. She's won 3 matches regardless to be here. Pretty shot from Nick. The top 40 scratch bowlers got here. There are 40 of the best under 21 bowlers in the country, and all 40 of them, you better believe they know short pattern strategies. When I looked at the ball rack this morning, it was 80 to 90% urethane balls, and they were all sanded to about 2 grit. They took a hacksaw to them, not just sandpaper. What they're doing is creating even more friction where the break point is already on the extreme outside of the lane. So that creates some bump and some miss room to the left in the lefty's case. Nice essentially turn it into an outside shot wall. They ball down with that urethane equipment so they don't get a huge overreaction off that spot that they create. And the results have been a lot of strung strikes. That one a little bit further left, and you see where that little bit of wiggle room is. For every single match here, they've been just hitting them with the heavy grit sandpaper, which they're allowed to do between games of the step ladder. And they do a fresh pair every time. All tied up through 4. If they don't blink the whole way, we'll tie at 279 and do a one-shot roll-off, which might last until Thursday. Oh man, when you're on a roll, those kind of pins trip for you. As he rolls the 6, he shakes his head in dissatisfaction, semi-apologizes to Nick on the way back. In addition to everything else, these guys are perfectionists. I'm happy if I hit the headpin. I don't really care how they fall after that. These guys, well, you know, it was 1.5 millimeters off. You know, I could have adjusted my axis tilt 1.5 degrees and had a much better result. Nick, one of the big stars of Northern California. Titles aplenty on the tours up there. Real solid conventional left-handed game. Look at those lines. Look at that knee bend. Don't look at the pins because there won't be any left when he hits the ball right there. Beautiful shot from Nick. Christy obviously getting some good coaching. This is the best we've ever seen her bowl, no question about that. As Elliott also strikes over the right. She trails by 11, has a chance to cut it to 1 over there. Handicap way again. Christy's got to win this match by 32, and she increases her lead to 45, sorry, with that spare there in the 7th. So still a close match here. Let's see if Yukihiro can do anything about it. Oh. All right, Nick wanted that one. Ran it off camera to the left. One of those knee bucklers. Geez, give me that one more carry. 1 game to go after all this bowling. And Crystal trips up the 410. She says, alrighty then. Big turnout this week. Will be near $40,000 in scholarships awarded in just this week of bowling. Big crowd in the stands watching to see how this is all going to play out. Hard and straight, excellent spare shooting technique, no problems at the 7. Opportunity for Solomon to do what he did to Wesley Lowe in the semifinals, put that big early string and make it awfully difficult to come back from. Patterson also a NorCal star, as the ladies tend to do, just flawless physical form. What they lack for in power, they make up in style, and there's plenty of power on both those young ladies' bowling balls. Saw them like that one and just dice the rack. So he gets the 7 to tilt, then he trips the 6, then he just shreds the rack. 3 different ways to put a knife into your opponent. Baby-faced assassin on the lanes. Nice as you could possibly ask for off it. That approach belongs to him. Well, let that wall get away. See, when you do miss it left, the pattern's pretty much dead flat, so there's no help for it there. And Christie's starting to feel it. $3,200 for first in scratch, $2,500 in handicap, $1,500 in girls scratch. Big bucks. I have never seen Solomon balk as often as he has done in this tournament. What's that?
Growth spurts.
His parents say growth spurts to the right. He's now 4'3". Out of that extra half inch from 4'2½". You know, and in all honesty, there could be some truth to that. And a bowler who's as technical as he is will feel that little bit of difference. And sometimes can mess up those little shuffle steps that he takes. A mature move to stop, wait for it to feel right. He does. Another carry, make it 4 in a row, and out to a 21-pin advantage. Simple spare conversion for Pattison in the 6th, but Elliott comes up with a double working and a chance to make it a match. Well, Caitlin is just not going to be able to keep up with Mace in this match. I believe she's only 10 years old, so what a performance nonetheless for her. It's a big shot for Nick, and he stays behind the line and gets them to fall. Approaches have been a factor all weekend for Nick. He had some trouble sticking earlier, especially on the low side, and both bowlers complained of slipping on this particular pair prior to the match. They get some practice time, and both bowlers were slipping so much they asked for the approaches to be cleaned. They did so and haven't had any problems since then. That was the first time I've seen faulty footwork from Nick in this match. We'll have to keep watching those foul lights too. I'd hate for a foul to be a decider here. .141 the best she can do. Mace already 170 if she double gutters. Christy Mace is going to win the handicap main event. Absolutely pure there from Nick. Two awfully darn strong bowlers. Excellent week for Yukihiro. It'll be in a runner-up position. You know, it's one game for the title between Solomon and Nick, and obviously someone will win it because that's how it has to be, but there's really splitting hairs a difference between the two of them. You can see how talented they are. If it's a case of want it more, we know Solomon wants it because we see him week to week. He's got that it factor drive. 5 titles on our tour. Soon to be many, many, many more than that. Boy. Like most good bowlers, he knows it when the ball's about a microsecond off his hand. Re-extends back to 21. Still 2 big frames left. Mace's 5-10 in the 10th. Doesn't matter. Ooh, she almost makes it anyway. Finishes up with a 190 scratch game and a main event title. And a hug from sister. With many more hugs about to happen. Elliott washed out in her 7th frame, is unable to convert. She's going to fall way behind. Solomon beat Wesley, the 2-time defending champ, like we said. Leah Glazer, the 1-time defending champ, also out first. He slips. Also stays behind the line though, but that definitely affected the roll on that shot in the flat 7s, keeping Postag alive. Well, you talk lane condition to death as a factor. Approach conditions are a factor as well. Even in a spectacular facility like this, things can happen and the bowlers have to adjust just like they adjust to the lanes. Nope, another growth spurt. You're going to be about 11 feet tall by the end of this tournament. It keeps doing this. Pattison struck over there in the 7th. She leads by 27. We laugh, but again, it's the mature thing to do. No shot clock in our tour. Tells his trusty target zone to lay off. It does. He's on a 2:48 pace. Nick can go off the sheet for 2:58. That's exactly what Solomon would strike out for in the 10th. So if we see nothing but strikes from here, we'll have a 2:58 tie. Who's going to perform in the last 2 frames of main event? Miranda not able to put the nail in the coffin over there. Elliott can strike out for 2:10. Pattison going at a 2:07 pace. Shot of the day for Posteg. He'll run out of frames if he can't strike there. No. Wasn't an approach problem. It was a good looking shot. He thought he had 10. He's got 9, and he might have second as a result. Still can strike out to make Solomon mark, but boy, that one hurts. Miranda clean through 8. You talk about making your spares on the tougher patterns. She's made 4 of them in this match to stay clean. Crystal's missed 2. And there's your difference. .237 with all 3 in the 10th for Nick. Solomon with 9 out for 2:36. So as annoyed as he is by that 7 pin, he has to find a way to mentally regroup here and put as much pressure as he can on Solomon for his 10th. Crystal is close, but just not quite zoned in the way she wants to be on that lane. 245. Now she's got 200 max. Similar to Nick, it's not over, but it is a gloomy forecast. Good job with the spare. Now Posteg must have 3 shots here. There's one. If he does get this next one, again, that's a very important fill ball coming up as well. The strike and the fill, which we're looking ahead of things, but the strike there would take the tie out of play. The money's big and the money's nice, but these people want titles. Ball change for Elliott. Late, smart, brave move by Crystal there to make that change in the 9th. Nick has to have this one in the 11th. Slices that rack apart, keeps hope alive. You know those football playoff scenarios, you need a Cleveland win, a Denver tie, and a Cincinnati to move. It's one of those things. Asking for an open out of Salama, who's only not struck twice in this match. With Miranda marks in her 9th and 10th, she locks up her first main event title. Best friends with former main event champ Madison Bailey. She'd love to join her friend as a winner, but oh boy, split in the 9th. We'll come back to her in a second. Huge fill ball, brilliant 237. Could come down to as simple as where the 9 counts were. 3 9 counts for Nick, 2 9 counts for Solomon. He will be perfectly fine with 1 more 9 spare. He will be elated with the strike, so that would lock it up. If he does anything other than strike, he must spare it to win. Champion at ours and many other levels. I don't think he doesn't want this ball. A lot of time. And it'll be more time. Boy. Going to have a reputation for the dramatic. Is Hatchet in the building? Is Eric here? The king of the Bach on our tour. Is his ghost haunting main event right now. 1,200 people are silent right now. He's walking, and with the messenger. Started walking, said please, please, please. All that power just tomahawks the 7-pin. And oh my goodness, what a situation developing over in girls as Miranda opened in the 9th and now faces a 2-4-8-10 in the 10th. Perfect time for that. Exceptional bowling out in the scratch division. Pads some up quickly. Must make sure a 1. 4 sure wouldn't have been exciting. 1 was important because it forced the first strike out of Crystal. Miranda finishes at 182. And from out of nowhere, Crystal Elliott can swipe Main Event away from Pattison with a strike here in the top. And this young Floridian given a second chance. Can she take advantage of it? Stays with the ball she changed to. Got her will. Doesn't roll the 2. This could never get comfortable on that right-hand lane. Strike in the 4th, and that's it. She managed to double off of that strike in the 4th. And Miranda doesn't care right now that she backs into that title. She outscored her opponent, and she's gonna wins Main Event. Does win Main Event. High-level stuff from our finalists. Great stuff from hundreds of bowlers all week long. Be sure to check out the full results on our website. We'll do it all over again from here next year, and we'll do it all over again on our regular tour about 100 times between now and then. See you next time.